Welcome back and welcome to this next video. Now this is where it starts getting deep, right? You started to shift, you started to create some awareness, you started to move from a mentality of hustle, grind, hard work, strategies, tactics, tools, all beautiful things, but you can start to feel that they are operating from a place of scarcity and lack and drawing you to a place of certainty and safety. And underlying all of that is fear. You can start to see that now. And rather than that fear coming up and you avoiding and resisting that pattern and allowing it to unconsciously grow, what you're basically doing is allowing it to transcend, allowing it to feel fully in your body, where you can start observing it and recognizing that it's a 5-year-old within you, a 5-year-old pattern that just needs to be seen, loved, understood, and heard. And when that happens, what you may find is that you can access a different level of consciousness. That is this next piece. All right, first C, obviously the connectedness with yourself. Connection with yourself is the highest priority. The second is consciousness. Consciousness is elevating your level of awareness to a place where you start to transcend a lot of your patterns and you start to see and access who and what you really are. Now, what is that? When you start to love these patterns unconditionally, all these fears, doubts, frustrations, right, you can start to access more of your heart. You're an infinite being. You are infinite creativity. You're infinite possibility. Right? Think of your ideal hero. Right? Who is it? Is it the Oprahs, the Wayne Dyers, the Jim Carreys, whatever it may be of the world? And realize at the core essence, we are just heart and lungs. And you can start to tap into this when you access your heart, when you access this thing that's beating your heart, this energy, this infinite creative flow of life, right? We are here because 13.8 billion years ago, there were some atoms that exploded out of exploding stars, right? Atoms were formed from that now make up our body. The atoms you can feel in your body, the atoms, every single thing you can see around you, was all creating from exploding stars that formed over this pattern of time to see what it is today. And I can ask you, do you have any control over the thing that's growing your hair, growing your fingernails, replenishing the cells in your body, making sure the organs are working in alignment? How do you explain that? How do you explain that there's a oneness that we have with everything around us? This is heightening your level of consciousness. And this is what happens when you access your heart. When you sit down in meditation, in silence, and you start to pay attention to these patterns that are emerging. And once they transcend, you can start to really access more of who and what you are in your heart and this energy system that is created. And when you do that, you can start to realize that you are more. Who you are and what you are is more than anything that can stand in front of you. Right? You are more than your challenges. Who you are is more than your problems. What you are is more than anything you can create. Anything you can create. Right? You are the creative being that it came from. You are the source. This is what a lot of people get hung up on, is when they want to create a result and they have this struggle, they have this all of a sudden they have this massive goal that says, once I achieve that, I'm going to be a certain way. They make that goal bigger than they are, bigger than who and what they are. And all of a sudden, obviously it's a stretch. It's not in alignment. It's true what they say. If you really, really want something, you're not ready to receive it because you're trying to find something. You're trying to find that goal to fill that void. What happens when you shift your level of consciousness? You become more than anything you can create. And you become like the apple tree Michael Beckwith talks about all the time. You become the apple tree. An apple tree doesn't produce an apple and then all of a sudden figure out, oh my God, I hope someone buys this apple, or I hope this apple isn't too similar to these oranges. But when you realize you're the source, you can create apples all day, every day. When you realize you're the source, you're the one who creates every single dollar that comes into your life, every single client, every single business idea. You can create $1 million ideas all day, every day. when you realize that you're the source and you recognize you're the source. This is what happens when you place your consciousness at a higher level and you realize you are more than anything you can create. So sit with that. Sit with that and recognize you are every single thing that is going to come into your life. You are the answer you're after. When it comes to safety, when it comes to security, when it comes to comfort, whatever you think your external circumstances will help you feel, you can realize that is you. Your creative flow, your infinite abundance is safety, is creativity, is flow, right? This is what happens when you elevate your level of consciousness, and it can only happen, you can only really access this once you start resolving those internal patterns, these internal conflicts that are resonating underneath the surface. So play with that. Play with that. When you're in meditation, be connected to that thing that's beating your heart. Pay attention to your heart. I realize there is an energy that's greater than anything you can accomplish. And couple that with resolving these internal conflicts, you can start to feel a oneness. You can start to feel there is a bigger purpose, a bigger mission, something that you want to really expand to the world through the avenue of business. And you can do this. You can do this with your marketing, with your message. Trust me, your heart knows how to sell. Your heart knows how to sell. Your heart knows how to market, right? It's coming from a place of vulnerability, a place of openness, a place of safety, because all of a sudden you don't need to accomplish your goals to feel enough. You realize when you elevate your level of consciousness and realize you're a oneness, you realize you are enough. You start from the base of enough, right? It's what I call the platform of possibility. You realize you're more than enough to start with. And that platform is so strong where you have the safety for all the people in your life to follow your alignment. And ideas just come through. Ideas, possibilities, opportunities, right? And you have elevated yourself to now where you are bigger than your goals will now start chasing you. It's what Kyle C says all the time. Your goals will now start chasing you. And you can really play with that. Play with the fact that you are more. And access your heart, access that thing that's beating your heart, access the infinite flow of life. And sit down there and see what comes up for you. And I think what you may find is that so many things will come into alignment because you will now be safe. You're now not operating from a place of lack and scarcity. You're now operating from a place of abundance. How safe will you be for more money, income, right? Clients, anything that's coming in your life? How safe will that feel for that freedom to come to you when you don't need it in order to be enough? So play with that. Sit down and meditate. Sit down and play with it. Sit down and just see what comes up for you. And I'll see you in the next video.